We're ready to begin. We're running late, but everything will work out fine, I guarantee. We have 5 groups. 4 of the group members will sit at these 2 tables. The other 2 group members will sit over here. So if there's 6, some may only have 5, but that's the seating arrangement. 2, 2, and 2. You have microphones to speak into. Please use them so that the bankers can hear you, we can hear you, the rest of the student groups can hear you. The order of presentation will be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Lift off.
Okay, any questions?
Okay.
You have your presentation already lined up. The first one is ready to go. So we'll ask group 5 to come up.
Hello, I'm Victoria. I'm the general manager of what we hope to turn into the Supreme Cafe. The Supreme Cafe's mission is to provide high-quality organic food to the community using ingredients from local farmers markets and bakeries. We especially hope to profit from high school students in the area, being that we are located right next to a high school, and we also hope to profit from commuting workers from the industrial park located nearby. I would like to introduce my marketing team, Andy and Christina.
Hello. Like she said, my name is Andy Jidone, and I'm the co-marketing director. And practically our mission for this cafe is to provide people with a family-friendly experience so they can come in there and just be happy, enjoy quality and fresh food, and to just overall have a great time. And with that being said, on our opening ceremony, we plan on inviting the mayor and other businesses as sort of like a community gathering so everyone can experience our great food and so we can get our name out there as part of our marketing strategy. As well as that, we'd also like to go around the community, pass out flyers just to get our name out there. And since we all have a large following on social media, we figured we may use that to our overall mission so we can get our name out there. As well as a website that we're planning on creating with our expert right here, Evan. He's very skilled at, he's very internet savvy, so we plan on having him create a website so we can get our name out there more and to just give our cafe an overall great look. As well as posting weekly specials on all our social media. We also are located near high school, so we offer after-school specials for any high schoolers that come to our restaurant because that's mainly our target group. I'll do the competition at the end.
Hi, I'm Christina. I would like to talk about the various deals that we have to offer. We decided that we're going to do between the hours of 6 and 8 a.m. coffee and sandwich deals, and if you come in, they'll be $5. We also would like to do an open mic night, which would be on Saturday nights, and we would extend our hours, and we would like to hold other community events such as talent shows and local bands, have them all play, and the winner of any competition gets a free breakfast meal. We would also like to host fundraisers with the schools and help them raise money and maybe do like competitions between the two. I would like to introduce Andrew and Kyle, our chefs.
Hello, I'm Andrew and Kyle, and as chefs, what we're really looking forward to doing is pushing our healthy choices on the menu because people nowadays are really trying to get healthier. You see more people being vegetarian, more people being vegan, so we really want to push our healthy options and make the community want to come in as opposed to the fast food places like McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, all those places. We want people who want healthy options because those places might not have all the healthy options. We want those healthy people to come to our store because we have more options than say the fast food places.
We plan on working with local bakeries and farmers markets to keep the business in the town and use fresh products, so that'll help the town more or less our business. I'd like to introduce our financial man, Evan.
Thank you. As previously stated, we plan on using food and products from local bakeries and markets, so this can greatly help the community, as well as we plan to create some deals with them so that we can have a cheap source of quality products. All 6 of us are equal equity partners going into this, as we raised our own money, so that is one of our main sources of income. However, we do seek a loan of $80,000 for 10 years. Yeah, so given this projection sheet, which I passed out, we kind of tweaked and modified it so that it would more accurately represent the profits and losses of our next year. So the sales was listed at $340,000, but we feel that using these organic goods, using these organic products, we can help attract more customers, and that could give us a larger amount of sales. However, the pricing of this would also go up, as listed here, but we feel that those do counteract each other, and in the end, we will be able to turn a profit like this. In terms of the controllable operating expenses, we feel that we will be able to make a decent amount of money with this, as the prices will not go up. In terms of the salary, all 6 of us are going to be working and hiring no third-party external employees. So as such, we will be able to split the extra dividends at the end of our salaries among ourselves. In terms of the fixed expenses, such as legal, bookkeeping, telephone rent, and utilities, we do feel that they will remain pretty similar to what this is. And totaling all that up, doing some math, we believe that we can make a profit of about $20,000, give or take. And that is why we feel that you should help us with our business via a loan. Anyone have anything else to say? Okay, thank you. Yeah, that was mighty fun.
I have a quick question for you. So is everybody taking a salary? All 6 of you are going to have a salary, and you're still going to have a profit of the 22?
Yes, in this, we allotted a salary of $60,000 for all of us, compared to the 20 for what we assumed was 2 people. We kind of split it up evenly so that we all have wage, along with the extra profit we could split evenly, and that'll be different depending on certain days, if it's a very busy year or something.
Is everybody going to be working there, or nobody? Or how many of you will be working there full-time?
All of us.
Full-time?
Well, we are, okay, you can go.
We won't all be together at the same time. Like, if we have a busy day, it'll probably be 4 or 5 of us, but as opposed to, not so busy, we'll probably have 3 or 4. So not all 6 of us won't be there at the same time.
And we plan for it to be part-time, not full-time.
Everybody?
Yeah.
Are you planning on retaining the elders for any period of time as you transition from them to you?
Seeing as they're going to be moving to Florida, we feel that we don't necessarily need it for much. However, some of their products and some of their choices, we kind of transition into our business via refurbishing and other things.
One of the things you might want to consider is getting introductions to their vendors and suppliers so that there's a seamless transition into, your operation. Competition, what's the competition look like in the immediate marketplace that you have to deal with?
Well, our competition currently would be Wawa, Dunkin' Donuts, or and I feel like we offer a great variety of organic and whole foods. So I think we could crush the competition in the future,
Crush the competition. I like it. Equity partners. Everybody says they have skin in the game here. How much do each of you invested into this enterprise?
That would
We've
be
each
10,000.
invested 10 grand, yes.
10 grand. And do you have any extra working capital available in the event the plan doesn't go the way it should go?
We have allotted about $6,000 in miscellaneous expenses that we could use for anything depending on what happens.
So that's your cushion?
We have a slight cushion.
What are you going to be using as collateral for the loan that you're asking for?
For collateral, it should be on slide 1. For collateral, we planned on using some of our property, and we're planning on using, property, assets of ours, just general assets.
So you have assets to pledge, is that what you're saying here?
We have,
Who's got the shore home? Everybody usually has a shore home. No?
I don't have a shore home.
You're gonna have it, right? You talked about having an open mic on Saturday night. Is that,
that's marketing.
do you know how many seats you're allowed by the local ordinances? Because typically, you're allowed so many, then you have parking spaces, so that's something you might want to consider.
Right.
As once you get past the day-to-day operations of the deli.
Definitely.
You seem to focus mostly in the morning, you talk a lot, but from morning to open mic in the evening. What about those hours in between? Who's filling those hours, and how is all that work? What are the hours of operation of the business?
We were thinking 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. and then with extended hours, maybe like 8 on like mic nights and stuff.
What's the experience of the group here in doing this? Now you're taking over an existing business. The people who had it are not going to be involved, as you mentioned earlier. What's your individual experience in running an operation like this?
Well, Kyle and myself, we've both been, we're not going to say like super chefs like, Bobby Flay and Emerald and all them, but we've had experience with the grill. We can cook well, and the stuff that we're cooking isn't, the stuff that those guys are cooking. We have plenty of experience with the stuff that we're cooking, and we feel that we're good enough to give the consumer a good product.
What about the operations, other than the cooks? You have the marketing, your sales, your finance.
Yeah. I would be managing all of the operations, and he would be managing finances, and they would be managing marketing.
We are very creative people, by the way. I just thought I'd add that in there. So we offer like a great source of creativity that keeps things new and innovative. So we keep our customers coming back to us.
Any further questions from the bankers? All right, 2 comments for the remaining 4 teams. Whoever's working the PowerPoint, they need to be keeping it in sync with the people who are speaking so that we're following what it is that they're saying. Number 2, I was remiss in not introducing our bankers. These are real bankers. We have Mr. Rodriguez from Wells Fargo, Mr. Lanigan from Berkshire, Mr.
LaViscount.
LaViscount from Investors, and Lisa Gerhardt from Customers. This group is finished. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, I represent Premium LSC. My name is Mustafa Rain. I'm the CEO, and I'm joined by our Chief Financial Analyst, Haley, our Executive of Culinary Arts, Colin, our management team, Ashley, and our social media manager and assistant marketing manager. Now, we're here today to request a loan of $70,000, paid off 12% for 5 years to a total of $15,700 per year. This is with the goal of opening up our cafe, Premium Cafe, to provide for the modern consumer in the modern era. As you read through this, please keep in mind everything that we say. Feel free to look through, follow through as we go along, and we hope that we can strike a deal. Now, I'm going to introduce my, again, social media manager and head marketing agent, Josh Fernandez, to kind of bring in the summary and sort of just list out what our business capabilities are and what we can do.
Thank you, Mustafa. Okay, so we'll begin with what Premium Cafe is, which is a cafe that's going to stand out and be more than ordinary. We're going to be extraordinary in a community-based environment in which we focus on diversity and just being exemplified in what we do. All right, so our location, we're located on Main Street, and we are near a high school and industrial development, I believe. Am I correct? Yep. Okay. Thank you. And our products and services is we've decided to slowly transition from deli, because when I think of deli personally, I think of raw meat. I don't know. I think of not very tasty or exemplified foods. So when the name cafe, I don't know, it just feels better. I don't know. In recent research, we found that 90% of restaurants and businesses with Italian influence, they don't fail. And it's true. If you look at Starbucks or Panera, their founders have been founded off of Italian influence. The way they act and the way they serve their food is Italian influence. So if we exemplify that in the way that we serve our food and the way we act in our business, we're set up to not fail. If you understand what I'm saying. All right, and our market and competition, right? Yeah. We feel that we have two. We have primary competition, which would be the chain restaurants such as Panera Bread, Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, and then we'd have secondary competition, which would be local businesses.
Right. So now to do an internal analysis, a SWOT analysis, if you will, of our strengths, weaknesses, and things like that. Our strengths are very clearly we're a local business. We're not loyal to a franchise. We don't owe anything. We don't have the same stigma associated with it. So when you're working with these cafes that appeal to this new up-and-coming generation, a lot of the times you don't want to be this big chain. You don't want to have this huge corporate conglomerate behind you. You want to be small. You want to be locally owned and things like that. That's a very big strength that we have over our main competitors. Next, again, our location. We're in a central area. We have teenagers. We have people working and things like that all around us, which is always a helpful thing. Furthermore, we can adapt to anything that might change with the location, seasonal things like that. If children go out of school, we have other things that we can do during the summer that we'll go on to in further detail later that helps us kind of adapt to a changing environment. To continue, we have a very broad consumer base. We're targeting those that don't want to go to a necessarily eat-in deli. They don't want to have a loud restaurant. They want to have a quiet cafe. They want internet to do their work. They want to eat. They want to drink small things, come in, get out, or stay for a bit and just do their work in peace and quiet. So we're targeting that base. We're targeting that base that wants this kind of niche but yet still broad sort of environment of just better and more a calm area to do your work and get some food. This is, as a general theme, this is not typically done with small chains. It's usually done by franchises that either purchase local businesses and things like that. But we plan on staying true to our roots to keep that sort of advantage that we have over these larger businesses and things like that, as well as having a very experienced team. Again, each one of these, Haley has worked in catering. He has worked at various restaurants and things like that. Josh is, in fact, an ex-barista, and all of us have had multiple awards and things such as DECA and FBLA proving our competence and experience in these areas. Now, weakness is, again, we don't have the resources and recognition as of now as a larger consumer base, and it might not be in fashion with those of older, more traditional values, more traditional generations and things like that. However, we plan on countering it by, again, being adaptable, being broad, and things like that. Now, here's some opportunities. There's a general growing trend of this new age coffee shop, this new age form of the deli. You know, what my parents went to as a deli, my kids might go to as some futuristic cyber cafe. And we hope to create that bridge, that sort of calm, homey cafe and things like that. And just our threats are, again, chains, namely Starbucks, Panera, things like that. And our secondary threats are non-primary threats would be small local businesses and other delis, things like that. That's it. Now, to go in a little more on how we plan on really sieging this market and things like that. First, as our name suggests, we're a premium product. Now, we don't plan on charging the lowest prices. We don't plan on charging $1 coffee, things like that. Why? Because as our name suggests, we're premium coffee. Now, coffee is one of the most purchased products ever and one of the most highest margin profit products ever. And if I offered you right now a $1 7-Eleven coffee or a $5 Starbucks coffee, despite them being almost, despite them costing nearly the same to create, I'm sure the majority of us, if offered that for free, would go with the Starbucks coffee. That's because our premium price is not a flaw, it's a feature. We charge relatively premium higher prices because in the consumer's mind, it creates a sense of premium, high-quality product. So not only are we creating more profit, not only are we raising our margins, but in a sense, as long as we balance that fine line between high enough that people think it has a worth and not too high that it's affordable, we can really seize that. So that's one main area of focus for us. Next, we're also going to push that artisan coffee narrative. We're going to really come off as artisan, prime, the finest coffee you'll find, things like that, to further market and to really get that across. One of the things that we're going to focus on, perhaps even more than our product itself, is our brand and brand recognition. We're going to utilize social media, things like that. So let's say you tag us in a photo, things like that. We'll give you a free coffee. We'll offer a rewards program. You can join our rewards program. In fact, if you'd like to take out your phone right now, go to Instagram, search up Premium Coffee NJ. You can find our Instagram and some photos that we've done, things like that. You can see our follow base in case you'd like some further proof to see what our company has, what our company's done, and things like that. And finally, I'd just like to really hit home how we'd like to really just facilitate that prime premium brand so that people associate coffee not with Starbucks, but with premium coffee.
Okay. Our goal for Premium Cafe is to be a home away from home. The owners before had simple chairs and tables to use for eating and drinking, but we decided to take some of those chairs and tables out to replace them with love seats and beanbag chairs. Have you guys ever seen a beanbag chair in Dunkin' Donuts? I haven't. So, putting these things in will help further the atmosphere of a relaxed environment. We have friends and family is a big thing for us. We are a local business, so we know what it's like to struggle against franchises. So we have a family-owned Costa Rican bean plantation for coffee that we can cheaply send over the seas from Costa Rica. And we have family friends who are vendors that we can get our deli meats and fountain drinks from.
Just to continue off that, again, we're not just selling products, we're selling an experience, we're selling the atmosphere that comes along with the entire cafe. We're selling this non-GMO, completely organic, homegrown, hand-picked, completely proprietary coffee from this single plantation. And we hope that that's what the consumer wants, and we know for a fact it's what they'll enjoy.
All right. Hello, I'm Zach Nab, the COO. So our staffing plan, we are going to stick with the original staff of 1 full-time, 2 part-time from the last business owners. And we will also be offering the time slots of 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. every day. The 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. crowd is more of our commuters and school kids going to school, want to stop by and grab an iced coffee before first period. From after that to before our lunchtime is more of our elderly or working from home group that isn't in a rush to get to work but is still craving that coffee or pastry, what they want. We'll then have a lunch crowd at around 8 or 11 to 2 o'clock. Then from then on out, we will have normal commuters home crowds, schools releasing their kids out, letting them flood in. And then after that, from 6 to 8 p.m., we will be having a closed kitchen, but still allowing kids to come in and work on projects and chill, have the free Wi-Fi, have a spot to plug in their computer, and socialize, and being able to still buy coffee and pastries, just none of the hot sandwiches or deli meats, anything like that. And
next, I'd just like to introduce our Senior of Culinary Arts, Colin, to discuss just shortly about the menu and things like that, the physical food that we offer.
So as you can see, you have a menu on your table. We offer drinks like coffee. In the summer, we'll offer more iced drinks. During the winter, we'll offer more hot drinks like hot chocolate, stuff like that. Coffee comes in the form of lattes, mochas, and cappuccinos. And we also offer tea, iced and hot. when it comes to that kind of drink, we have green, black, lemon, sweetened, and unsweetened. The types of sandwiches we sell, basic sandwiches, cold sandwiches, ham, turkey, Italian, we have bologna. The hot sandwiches we do sell are chicken, BLTs, and tuna melts. And some of the soups we sell are chicken noodle, tomato and vegetable soups. And some of the specials we do offer are the Hamiltonian ham sandwich combo, which is a large sandwich, a large ham sandwich that comes with a large drink of any choice. And lastly, the premium melt, which is a fried chicken sandwich with cheese and green peppers, and that comes with a drink of any choice.
Hi, my name is Haley. I'm the financial analyst. Our profit, we increased, and we kept some of the expenses the same. We took out, we cut delivery expenses because we're not delivering, so that minus the expenses. We decided to pay back our loan half the time so we could get it done quicker. So we increased that amount to 5 years. And then we're equal owners in our company. Everyone gets the same amount. We're getting $10,000 a year. And then our employees, their wages are $57,000 a year. We project to do 10% better than the elders' original projections for theirs for the first year, and then 15% more the second year. Okay.
All right, so we'd just like to remind you, a $70,000 loan we'd paid back in 5 years. Our collateral is the coffee shop, valued at $200,000, and it'll be paid back at 12.5% every year, totaling to $15,700 per year for 5 years. Now,
Are you leasing the building?
No, we're purchasing it.
You're purchasing it?
Yes. Just
Where are you
buying.
getting those funds from?
So we have $30,000 that we've out of pocket from our own money, and $40,000 from in-residence loans. So any questions now? Any of us can answer.
I'm confused on who you're marketing to. You're saying it's a premium
Yes.
dollar amount. So is that going to be marketable to your high school kids in the area?
Yes,
And your
so,
guys working in the...
Yeah, so as we said, we plan on doing higher than your local cafe, yet lower than your Starbucks or things like that. So around a $3 to $5 range, which, seeing as most of those businesses are in business, is easily affordable by the populace. Studies have shown teenagers are the most reckless when it comes to food spending, especially. I can speak from experience. I think most of us in this room can speak from experience. We spend a lot on food, and considering we have no rent, things like that, we spend a lot in general of what we do have. So we think it's an easily affordable price for what it's branded as.
How many of you are going to be working there?
Right, so full-time is going to be our culinary expert and our management staff, and the rest of us will be coming in and out. We'll still be keeping day jobs. We're taking a very small salary and putting the rest of the money back into the business.
Talk to me about, you have a rent expense of $24,000 here.
Right.
But you said you weren't going to be renting, so is this...
That rent covers like transportation, anything like that, especially for the shipping of the coffee from Puerto Rico all the way to the United States. That renting just includes anything else that we're renting.
What's your mortgage expense then on the building that you're buying? What's the term on that?
Our in-residence loans or our
No,
loans?
you're buying the building on Main Street, correct?
Yes.
What's the mortgage there? Is it...
Whatever we have to pay back to you. We haven't bought it yet. When we do buy it, whatever
You're getting a loan from us to purchase
Yes,
the building?
yeah, that's...
I think you did a nice job with the assessment, management structure, internal analysis. One of the things I would suggest that you check your loan payment. Loan payment that I calculated was $19,000 and change. You have $15,000 and change, so you just want to do that.
Okay.
Equity in, what is your equity in the deal? Like how much skin in the game do each of you have?
We're all equal.
Yeah, equal partners.
All right, but what does that mean? Is that $100,000? Is that $20,000? How much money are you putting into the deli?
We put in a total of $70,000 of our own money
Of your own
together.
money?
Yes.
Competition, I mean, who is your competition?
Again, our primary competition is things like Starbucks, established big chains, even Dunkin' Donuts to an extent, and our secondary is other delis and cafes and things like that. So to counter our, chain and our chain competition, so for something like Starbucks, we plan on undercutting them slightly on price and also offering that sort of local business, homey feel, things like that. For things like Dunkin' Donuts, we plan on offering that sort of cafe feel. And to compete with local businesses, we plan on kind of holding a monopoly on the social media kind of networking and all of that in the local area to really beat that.
Who is
back.
your targeted demographic? Like, who are you going after?
And we said like the new generation, basically typically younger from your like 16 to your like early 30s, but really, as we say, new generation, anyone that kind of isn't one that wants to have that sit-in deli, that big sandwich, that big meal, but they want to have that small, quiet place to sit in, use their tablet, use their laptop, things like that, and just have a small bite to eat. Typically younger, but it can be anyone older.
And you believe they have sufficient disposable income to pay your premium?
Yes, seeming as we've had other businesses that have much higher prices and things like that who are doing more than well, we think we could easily compete with this disposable income.
And just on the collateral for the $70,000 loan, what are we using for that as the collateral?
Josh, if you want to talk about that, it's essentially just his family's plantation.
We have a coffee plantation farm located in Costa Rica, which is valued at about $350,000 US. So it is easy collateral for the $70,000.
It could be problematic because it's not domiciled in the United States, so you might want to think of a second option on collateral.
Right. There's a second in Puerto Rico.
No, he said in the United States.
Locally.
Yeah.
Locally. You have to be in the States. It's very
just something you might want to think about from, somebody's got a family home, I got to believe at LBI, so you can throw that into the deal.
Because you can have my child.
Child? No, I got two and I'm done with them.
That's liability.
Payroll. I don't want any more. Thank you.
As you're transitioning to your new market,
yeah,
what is the expectation of retaining your existing customers?
So considering that we'll still be selling more or less, as the chef went over, more or less the same goods, but with some extra, we plan on, for the most part, keeping a lot of the same market. If we don't, our estimates show that the ones that we will gain kind of make up for any that we lost. But as far as everything goes, we are remodeling, we are reworking, but most of it is just an addition and a beautification of the old feel, and not necessarily a complete destruction or a complete removal. So any old customers will probably still return and things like that.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Charlie Geiger, and I am the tech management man for our company. Our deli is called 21st Century Deli. And before we start, I would like to introduce our team. I am Charlie, the app developer and website maintenance, and I'm going to be working part-time. This is Nicole. She's a bookkeeper part-time. This is Matt. He is also a bookkeeper who will be part-time. This is Emily. She is our social media manager who is part-time. Jessica over there at the end is our full-time co-manager. And Anthony is our full-time manager. Okay, so our marketing strategy is broken up over a couple things. So the first would be our company website, which I'll get into a little bit later. Our social media, which will be talked about. We have an app and our art wall, which I'm going to hand over to Jessica and Anthony right now, and they're going to explain.
So our art wall will be from the local kids around the deli. There is the high schoolers, the elementary school kids. They will come in and they will draw. It's not going to turn into like a first grade classroom, or if you have little kids, they will draw over your walls at the house. It will just be with the help of the art school teachers, along with the chalkboard that we will have once you walk inside our deli. So we will have sort of like a little lounge area. It won't be like a Starbucks or like a Panera, but it will have a couple tables. It'll be towards the right once you walk in, and there will also be a chalkboard in the same area. And we decided to make the 21st century deli as if it is basically a 21st century deli. So it'll be much more modern than any other deli that you see, like 7-Eleven or whatever other deli there is around. So we decided to also make the tables like purple, green, blue, yellow, orange, whatever, and comfortable seats, and along with TVs and free Wi-Fi. And we also would like to give back to the community by catering for the post-proms like Nottingham and Steiner have, and giving back in making any field days that the elementary school kids have. We would like to show off the 21st century deli in those days as well. If you have anything else then, Tony.
The art wall is merely just a way to express yourself in not an inappropriate way, but just to, like, maybe if you want to write an inspirational quote and you just want to somewhere to write it, and with your friends, get some coffee, get a sandwich, and just have lunch. And that's just like an easy way to be together and hang out. But it's also like a shop, so people are buying food, people are buying drinks, and our other products like chips and such. And the art wall really goes along with the 21st century idea, because we are living in the 21st century and everyone does have an opinion, and a lot of people like to express their opinion, and so this is a great way to express it very nicely and well and just in the public eye, and that really works with our idea of the 21st century. So,
and just to elaborate on that, the whole art wall thing a little bit, we think it'd be a good idea to get some of the art done by the students at the schools. I don't know if any of you have been to the local like art shows or anything, but I feel like if we had some of the art from the students in the shop just hung around everywhere, it would create a sense of camaraderie between the students who go there. Okay, the next thing I'd like to talk about is our in-store ordering system. I don't know if any of you guys have been to like Panera or anything where they have those tablets that you order the food on. We just figured that it would be a lot easier to order your food that way. So you would come in, you would order your food, and you'd get like a receipt, and then you'd bring it up to the cashier, and that would just be a quicker way to pay. And the same thing kind of goes for our app too, which I'll explain. And the app is something that you'll be able to put your order in early. So let's say you're at school and you're getting off for lunch in like 20 minutes, but you don't have that much time to pick up your food. You could put your order in on the app, and by the time you get to the store, your order would be ready to be paid for. So I'll let her explain the website and our menu a little bit.
So our website would basically operate the same as our app, except you'd be able to do it if you didn't want to take up storage on your phone by downloading the app. You could just do it directly through Safari or whatever internet access you have through your phone, or even you can just order it online at home. And then for our menu, we decided to go for a more create your own, because how many times do you walk into any place really that you order food and you say, oh, well, I want this specific meal but without this, that, and the other thing. Our menu is set up to so that you can create it exactly how you want. It's the same price. There's very few, I guess, there's very few additional purchases you'll have to make if you wanted like more toppings, if you wanted more deli meats on your sandwich, or if you wanted it done a certain way. So we're gonna serve breakfast and lunch will carry on into dinner, but the menu doesn't change. So for our breakfast, we're gonna serve bagels and pastries and coffee and other beverages. And so you'll pick a bagel, you'll pick your bagel toppings if you want any, And also your bagel can be toasted, which is free, no additional charge. And then you could also do breakfast sandwiches. So you select the bread you want, which is a bagel or a roll, and then you know, if you want a bacon, egg, and cheese, that's fine. It's about $4. And then we also have a bakery, which will serve muffins, brownies, which is meant to reminisce on the old owners, and cookies as well. For lunch, we're doing sandwiches again. So you select your bread, you select your deli meats, you select your toppings and your seasonings, and basically you'll see a breakdown of how much everything costs, and in total it's about $4 again. Everything is relatively low price so that students can easily afford it, and you're not, you know, you don't want to be spending $10 every single time you want a meal.
And to elaborate off that a little bit, we want to keep these low prices so we can get students and like the industrial workers to be coming back to our store every day, because it seems pretty expensive for some other places to be going there every single day. We want to kind of create this mentality of, oh, let me go get my breakfast here today again, like all week, because it's quick, it's cheap, and it's good food. And we're going to hand it over to our bookkeepers to talk about the pricing and allocating our money.
All right, so to start off, we want to stress that our estimates for our second year is just based on how we're going to market. So we're not expecting a big boom right away, but we're expecting that with time. It's not. We don't have a slide for that. We're just
Okay.
So with time, we're expecting this to be very successful. So like many other companies, we're not expecting to start off fast, but we're expecting to pick it up in the coming years. So in total sales, we estimate about $460,000. So through that, we put money based on like what we think we need. So for supplies, we put in $12,000. For advertising, we didn't think we needed advertising right away because through our app and through word of mouth, we feel like word's gonna get out there fast that this is a new, exciting deli where people can go to have fun and enjoy a nice meal. So salary for everyone, we're starting off with a low salary so we can invest more money into our business. So each of us will be making about $24,000 in total. So each of us will be making about $6,000 to start. So this way we can put as much money into our business and to grow this deli as possible. So
to go off what he said really quick, all of us who are part-time also have a full-time job during the day. So the only two who are full-time will be paid full-time.
Just going off what Charlie said, we have 2 full-time employees, which are Jessica and Anthony, and then the 4 of us are going to be part-time. Matt and I are going to donate our accounting skills and do the bookkeeping for the business. We both have full-time accounting jobs. Matt has one in a warehouse, so the reason why the supply budget is lower is that he's willing to invest supplies bought from his company that he could get at a cheaper rate, and that would be his investment. And then we both have houses as collateral that we would be offering for the loan, and we both have savings account as well in case we had to pay back the loan if we didn't have enough money.
So the profit that we expect is about $10,000, and I know that's a little low to start, but we expect that to boom over the next 2, 3, 5 years. So that's all we got. I'm sorry.
What's the loan amount?
The loan is about $70,000 over 10 years. That's what we're looking for. if you have any questions, we'd be open them this time.
Yeah, what experience you all bring to the table?
We're trying to bring like a much more welcoming environment for not only just any customer that comes through to get.
What is your experience in the industry?
Oh, my experience.
Anybody's.
Oh,
Well, I can say.
Okay.
I have had previous managerial and leadership positions in other businesses, so I'm willing to donate all of my time to creating and starting up this business as being a full-time manager, and I just, using those skills, am able to lead others into making this business successful.
And how much are each of you putting into the deal? How much cash money?
Each of us are going to put in about $10,000 each to start off.
And do you have a cushion in the event that things don't work out the way you thought they're going to work out to carry it for a bit?
We have our own income from past jobs to
You have any
keep it
debt?
afloat. I'm
Personal
sorry?
debt? You have personal debt?
Yes.
And I heard a lot of innovative things about the modern deli. Who's paying for that? How's that being paid for as part of your deal? So just something to think about. I don't know that I need an answer.
Being paid for as in like the renovations?
Yes.
We figured that the chalkboard wouldn't be that big of a expense, and just I guess repainting and just creating a different vibe with the colors of the walls and just how everything's laid out would be our
So
first thing.
Cosmetic?
Yeah, first cosmetic, and then once we.
What efforts have you thought about in retaining the existing customers?
We hope that they come back and hopefully they stay loyal, but I mean, we can't really count on that. So what we're doing is we're marketing to a broader audience, and so hopefully they can tell their friends that this is changing, it's becoming better than it was before.
Always good to keep what you have, too.
Yes, sir.
We want for this cafe to be like a place where you can just come in and get a quick bite to eat, or you can stay if you choose and, hang around, talk to everybody, and converse with your fellow community members.
Thank you.
I think also with trying to retain existing customers, we kept the brownies and we kept the coffee, and we have like a little loungy area, so that way, if they still want to come for, the coffee to talk and come back for the brownie again, they can sit there and relax and still talk how they previously did with the other owners.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, hello. I'm Dylan Richkoff, and I am the manager and CEO of the All-American Deli. So we're going to talk about what we do and what we've done in the past first, and then kind of go into the deli. So I went to college with my friend Eric here, and I studied business management. So my parents formerly owned a pizza joint, and so with those two combined, I think I can run a business pretty well myself. I knew the owners of the prior deli, the Elder Deli, and I didn't want to see it go. So I brought my friends here together to make it live again. So I'll pass it off to Eric.
Hello, I'm Eric Benyon. I studied marketing management in college, and I attended a university with Dylan. And after college, I had another job as a marketing manager. And he came to me with a business endeavor where we would buy a deli and I would be his marketing manager. And I agreed to it. So that's where I am.
I'm Aaron Van Cleef. I studied business management in college. I have previous experience by working as a manager for 3 years at Longhorn Steakhouse. There, I took on the responsibility of scheduling, helping out with the chefs, and just like everyday responsibilities. I'll be one of the full-time managers at the American Deli.
I'm Chris Rue. I'm the accountant. I studied finance and majored in accounting, minored in finance, and that's what I do. I do the public records and the taxes, and that's what I deal with the company.
I'm Jenna Brink, and I studied business administration in college. I previously worked for the Elders Deli, and I am interested in continuing to work with my friends for our new endeavor. So I bring some previous experience on how a deli is run in the day-to-day operations, and yeah.
Hi, I'm Henrietta Samuel. I studied marketing in college. I previously worked at Dunkin' Donuts as a marketeer, and Dylan and I went to high school together. When he came to me about his new business, I figured I would come and work with him as an assistant marketeer manager since I had experience in that area.
All right, so we're here to ask for a $70,000 loan to start up our deli. We're asking this for over a 10-year time period. So as for some collateral, I have a 1956 Thunderbird, mint condition, passed down, worth about $70,000. Aaron inherited stocks from Google, about 1,000 shares, also collateral. Jenna has a beach house, $225,000 collateral, and the other three have previously invested money into the company. So the All-American Deli is an attractive 5,000 square foot store located in the busiest street in town, which is Main Street. Close by is a high school, local high school, and a industrial building. So the inside is going to be very roomy. Outside, red, white, and blue, American flag. Pretty much in really at-home environment, roomy atmosphere. Stick true to the roots. Elder Deli, we loved it, didn't want to see it go, so don't want to go too far from that. We also want to really key in on the local high school and the industrial workers, but not be afraid to branch out to new customers and get things moving in the right direction.
As the marketing manager for the All-American Deli, I conducted a SWOT analysis where I found that some of our strengths include that the high school nearby allows the upperclassmen to leave for lunch. So we're going to offer specific deals for lunch hours for the students. One of the others is the industrial park located nearby, where we're opening early around 6 o'clock in the morning to cater to the industrial workers coming to order breakfast, and also for lunch around 12 to 2 o'clock. Some of our weaknesses would be that we're a brand new business and we have to get brand and name recognition out there. But some of our threats would be Wawa and the Subway and 7-Eleven nearby, but we feel that we can offer better quality goods for cheaper prices over those businesses. To promote ourselves to our target market of the high schoolers leaving for lunch, the industrial workers coming for lunch and breakfast, and anyone else, we are looking to give away give free samples to the offices nearby, just small platters, little slices of our sandwiches to show them what we're all about, the All-American Deli. We're going to do small giveaways like magnets if you come in, magnets with our name and phone number on it for people's fridges, for office buildings. One of the bigger things we're going to do is we're planning on creating an app with the rewards program, so when you buy from us, you swipe it, and you earn points adding up to free meals, free drinks, free sandwiches. We also plan on doing a buy 5 cups, get a 6 cup free of coffee, flyers on the street, and another one of the more high-tech options we have is getting automated billboards in other businesses, like where the boards flip and they have different advertisements. So that's what we have for the marketing.
Well, as the assistant marketing manager, these are our products and services that we offer. Our description of products, we have sandwiches that we serve, hot and cold, brownies, salad, and also cookies. We're unique because we have different special recipes, and also our All-American Hoagie, that's one of our specialty. We also serve vegan sandwiches because, not all people like to eat whole, like all white bread and Italian bread. We also have different kinds of sauce instead of mayo and ketchup. So when our consumers come in, they can ask for whatever sauce they want, and we offer that also. Our competitors offer low quality sandwiches with higher prices, and like he said earlier, one of our competitors is Wawa. And for us, our sandwiches are unique with high quality and affordable prices for our consumers, like the industrial workers and students. We plan on redesigning our product by changing the recipes of our sandwiches based on seasons and also holidays. Well, these are our prices. Our salad ranges from $3.99 to $4.50, and sandwiches is also based on like the size that you get. If you get a 6-inch sandwich, it's gonna be for $4, and 10 inches also $5. Our brownie is for $2, and our cookies are for $1.50.
For our goods and services purchased, materials, sandwich shop, disposables, cooking and handing equipment, tabletop serving supplies, condiments and topping supplies, food prep equipment, and hand tools. Sources of supplies, restaurant store. Production methods, we have employees that take care of different areas in our deli: chef, janitors, kitchen staff, food prep, etc.
For the marketing plan, our business organization, Dylan Richkoff will be the business manager. Eric Benyon is the marketing manager. I am the personal director, which means I'm in the store every day. Chris Rowe is our accountant. Jenna Brink's our assistant manager. Henrietta is the assistant marketing manager. For our staff-wise, we have the full-time manager, which was me. I'll be in the restaurant every day. We will have a full-time chef, and we'll have 4 part-time workers, 2 for the morning shift and 2 for the afternoon shift.
For the financials, we kept the fixed expenses, the uncontrollable expenses, sales basically pretty much the same. Bookkeeping, $5,000 around there. We didn't charge anything for car and deliveries because that's not what we're doing. Total expenses came out to $85,100. Sales, $550,000. My bad. I couldn't see it. Which meant the cost of goods sold $265,000, which means our gross margin is $285,000. That's about right. That's about it.
That's the presentation.
First question, I mean, I'm listening to the marketing plan, and sounds interesting, but there's a lot of free there. A lot of free sampling, a lot of buy multiple to get one. Are you sure you can still hold your cost of goods at what they are, giving that much sampling and other product going out the door?
As the marketing manager, I believe we can keep our profits high because we plan on, through the transition from the old deli to the new deli, we're going to try to find a deal between the people that they bought from, the elders, and where we plan on buying from to try to keep our prices lower. And we plan on undercutting the competition like Wawa and Subway, but offering higher quality goods. So through the lower prices, we feel that we can keep our profits up despite giving out some free samples for people.
What was your conversation with the elders relative to the impact that Wawa and 7-Eleven has had on them? That's my first question. And and it's kind of you're going to have high quality products that are going to cost you more, but you're going to offer them affordable prices. So, that therein lies your success and how you balance that. But what have the elders seen, and did you get a chance to talk to them about what their sales were 5 years ago, what their sales were today?
So what their problem was that they were very outdated. Their staff was very understaffed, and they couldn't really run properly. So we feel that the profit that we're going to make, being the new guy in town, because as Wawa and 7-Eleven and all them came in, they kind of shut the elders down because they weren't able to run as fast and properly like the Wawas and 7-Elevens and Subways do. So we feel that now that we're the new guy in town, that we can make up for that because of all the influx of high schoolers and bulk we're going to be getting from the workers over at the industrial units.
It could be a formidable task.
Quick question, who owns the Google stock?
That is me.
And you own 1,000 shares?
I own 1,000 shares. Each one's about $1,000.
Oh, it is? That's not current market value of $982,340 that you would own in stock?
I believe so.
Okay, so we were just curious why you would be interested in a deli when you have all that Google stock.
because I want something to do. In the meantime, I believe in giving back to the community. Part of the reason that it's called the American Deli is it's supposed to be built on the traditional American values of hard work, and it's just something to do in my time. And also, I feel that I want to leave something behind. I don't think the Google Docs quite gets that done, because after I'm gone, I want something behind, and that is where the American Deli comes in.
Very good.
I applaud you for that, but also you got to make a true business decision, and how you're going to spend the investment. So I applaud for what you just said, but at the end of the day, you're dealing with reality now, and you have formidable competition in the marketplace. So we're great to have collateral, so we'll take the collateral. But there's you've done a nice presentation, so I applaud you for that also.
Thank you very much.
So our business is Deli Delights LLC. My name is Mike Siddiqui, and I'm gonna microphone. I'm gonna go down the row explaining everybody's job, and they're gonna partly introduce themselves. So we have Emily right here. Next slide.
Hi, I'm Emily, and I'm the accountant for Deli Delights, and I will be calculating the expenses and taxes along with helping around the store whenever needed.
We're gonna go down to Juliana.
My name is Juliana. I'm a part-time employee with a background in developing app software.
Hi, I'm Kyle. I will be the general manager of this deli. I have previous experience being a manager at Primo Hoagies.
My name is Mike, and I'm a full-time employee at Deli Delights.
My name is Melanie, and I'm a full-time employee also.
We're asking for a $70,000 loan over an 8-year period, preferably at the interest rate of 10%. And we would like this loan in about 6 months. And this is just enough time for us to work out the finer things, and by that time the elders are ready to leave too. So collateral. There's a few things for collateral. I'm gonna say my collateral first, which would be $349,000 beach house. We do have a beach house. And we can go down the line again, and they will all state their collaterals.
My collateral is a 2011 Mercedes with a fair market value of $20,000.
Mine is a 2010 Mercedes valued at $18,000.
I have a 2002 boat worth about $17,000.
I have a 2008 BMW worth about $20,000.
And I own a house with a fair market value of $250,000.
Next slide. The summary, I'm gonna let Mel, if you wanna take it over.
Okay, so Deli Delights is located in a very attractive 5,000 square foot building on Main Street. We have a local high school, and we have a large industrial park in walking distance. It serves as a deli and a convenience store. There's no competitors nearby, and Deli Delights is dedicated to provide the local community with the best sandwiches and the best prices while also striving to give back to our community.
One thing that we realized is we can't change this deli, the basic business model, because the reason is we have an industrial park and high schoolers. We want to keep this affordable and cheap and keep it as a classic deli that everybody grew up around. I grew up around Chiarello's. I used to go to there, and that's just something that everybody knows in the community. If you try to change the business model and try to do something that it's not geared towards your customers, you could run into problems. And we've seen other companies try to do that. For example, if you guys notice, Tim Horton isn't in America that much. There's only a few locations because Starbucks has a monopoly. They don't allow that. Every time something like this gets popular, they come in and they take over, and Starbucks is more of a familiar brand. We don't want to try to be somebody that we're not. That could end up costing us. And that's why we're keeping it simple. So, we plan on purchasing the building itself for $115,000 with the stuff inside. And we plan on using $25,000 for the startup cost. And $40,000 of it is coming from mine. I have a home equity loan of $40,000, and I could dig in a little more if I need to. And the rest of them, they're putting up $6,000 each. That's their skin in this game. And we've decided to not pay the part-time workers beside the profits. So we all have some share into this. And I'm gonna let one of them take it over from here and explain.
So basically, me being the general manager, I'm a full-time worker. We have 2 other full-time employees that will be taking a salary. I will be making $30,000 while my 2 other employees will be making $20,000. Our 2 part-time employees have very stable and steady outside jobs, so they will not be taking a salary from this company besides any extra profits that we have left over. But in other words, we have all 5 of us here have 12% share in this company, while Fake over here has 42% due to his larger skin in the game, so to speak.
Our motto for this deli, to fix whatever the old owners did, is we're trying to cut costs and at the same time drive in foot traffic. It's in a heavy area. Heavy meaning there's a lot of foot traffic that goes by. But the issue that the elders had is they couldn't get anybody through the door. And part of it was that they were understaffed, so stuff was taking longer to get done. We're trying to staff it properly and still maintain a low cost. Next. I think you skipped like 2.
No, we didn't.
Okay, good. Never mind. There's a couple of things that we want to introduce. One of them is the app. We have people on this panel that have background in developing apps. And take over.
My background in developing app software is from Google, and that's my previous experience. And I'm a part-time employee, so I will not be taking in anything extra besides the extra profit. But I plan to use my previous knowledge to help with the company and the app.
The other thing is we want to have a dining area, and we did look up the fire codes and stuff. For every 500 square feet of sitting space, you could have up to 33 people. So we're trying to use about 1,500 of that as seating, so we could have about 99 people, give or take a little bit. I don't want to break fire codes. The fire marshal walks in and get hit with a decent fine. We're going to have some seating outside too, because the reason is we realized something that was key. From September to June, we have the foot traffic and everything's there because of the school. As soon as school lets out, how do we get those kids back in there? That was one of our concerns, and that was one of our focuses. In the summertime, if we have a place for them to come in, get on the hotspot and like do stuff and just interact, and a place for the community to hang out and do stuff, we can take care of that issue and we could recover the foot traffic that we would have lost. We plan on doing appetizers, hot and cold foods. We also plan on doing catering. The whole idea is to keep the cost down. We don't want to make it expensive so a high schooler can't afford it. If a sandwich is $3 and he needs to, or he or she, a high schooler, needs to put a gallon of gas, I think they might be putting a gallon of gas in their car instead of going and spending it on food. So our thing is we want to have the prices controlled, and we want to have stuff that's cheap but deal in volumes. Same idea with a gas station almost. They don't make a lot per gallon, but it's revenue driven and it's off of the volume. That's what we're trying to do here. Next. That's our menu right here of some of the stuff we offer. As you can see, we also have coupons and stuff. And this goes back to our marketing part, where we're trying to push the app and we're also trying to push stuff on Snapchat. If you have a filter or you're within the school and stuff, you can see our daily deal right on the bottom, and you can see stuff like that. And every time somebody has to put a selfie up, they can use that filter. And I've seen it happen with other stuff. McDonald's recently, to get more people to work at McDonald's, they did the filter. So every time you were near a McDonald's, the filter would come up and it would say, oh, school's out, you need a job or something like that, apply at mcdonalds.com/jobs. Same concept here, except we're doing it for a different purpose. I went over the opportunities just a little bit, and I'll go more in depth. The industrial park, that's key, because that's something that's permanent and that's gonna be there for a while. And those workers, they obviously have a lunch and they obviously need to get out and come over. They can come over to our deli, it's within walking distance. And the school also has a provision. It allows their kids to leave for lunch and come back as long as the parents agree to it. That's what we found out in our research. Like I said, keep the cost down, and there's also no competition around. But I will tell you, if competition does decide to come in, by that time, this business will be built up with the community, so the community is almost forced to come here just because it's part of it. And our core motto is going to be geared towards that. This is for the marketing strategy, and I'm going to let him take over.
So for the marketing strategies, we have a lot of strategies we can use, but our main one, we plan to create an app for people to order ahead of time because delis, a lot of people are in and out of delis and they don't want to spend a lot of time, or they're in a rush to get to work or school. So with the app, it's going to be very convenient for people to order their food ahead of time, and it's just going to save money overall. Time overall. For the students, going off of what he said, as far as cost, high school students tend to not have a lot of money. So for local students, we will be given a 10% student discount when they present their ID. We're going to promote and advertise ourselves by sponsoring the local school plays and other school events, including fashion shows, class events, and sporting events. We can also promote and advertise ourselves in the community events such as local festivals and award ceremonies where there's a very large crowd of people and also a very diverse crowd. We will provide on-demand catering as well with delivery to fit customers' needs, and our hours will range from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. so that customers can stop in before work or students can come after school activities. We're going to be closed on Sundays simply to cut down on costs, since delis tend to not have as many people come in on Sundays because people usually have off from work and obviously off from school.
Potential risks, the first one's pretty obvious, not getting the foot traffic in the door. And that's key for any business. Location, location, location. The location is there. It's just a matter of putting in the work and getting them to come through. Failure of health inspection. I've seen it happen over and over again with restaurant. Health inspector comes in as a surprise, finds something that they shouldn't, and you get shut down. That's one thing that will screw up your reputation because it's going to be on the front page of the Trentonian. It recently happened with the Capitol Restaurant in Ewing. They failed at health inspection and they got into some deep trouble. Miscellaneous costs that we could not calculate because every business, stuff comes up, the water line breaks, stuff like that. So we're going to try to prevent those things by maintaining it and doing what we're supposed to. Competition arises, that's another one. But we have a plan. If that does happen, we could set that in motion and take care of business. You have anything to add? The management plan. As for me, I'm going to be overseeing this operation, and I'm the one that put together this team because this has been a dream of ours for a while, and I know some of you can relate to this. By some, I mean all of them up here. And we're going to try to have full-time employees while having part-time employees. At the end of the day, some of us are paid, as you could see on our budget, and I would refer to the budget to see our numbers. And if you have any questions about them, you could ask.
And basically, I would just like to say, as a former manager at Primo Hoagies, I have experience with catering, making hoagie trays, making them available to the public. So that's what I bring to this table, not only being able to manage the deli on a day-to-day, but also manage its catering service.
Does the industrial sites, do they have cafeterias in them?
No, but one thing that they did have but don't have currently is they did have a seasoned food truck, but we recently heard word that they won't be coming back because of business. And that was a concern because why did the food truck go out of business? It was the quality of food and the health inspection issue. So we're trying to avoid that.
On your beach house, do you have a first mortgage on that?
No, that's already paid off. The only mortgage that I have in my current residence, and there's a small amount left. There's about $60,000 left on that.
So the beach house is free and clear?
The beach house is already paid off, so that's good.
Snapchat. So how's that work again? Like,
So
you drive
the-
by, and what do you got to do?
The way you do it, it's called geofilters. Let me enlighten you on Snapchat. And by the end of this, you're probably going to want to use it too. The way it works is that it's okay, you could come by our deli and use it. The way it works is pretty simple. You go on Snapchat, you submit a filter, you design it, and you literally circle the location you want to do it. People do it for graduations, birthday party, all types of stuff. And you circle it, it takes about 48 hours for Snapchat to approve or deny it. For example, Nottingham tried doing a custom one. We ended up getting denied because of the logo you used. We were infringing on a trademark. So you just have to be careful about that. And you put it in, and you could do different dates. For businesses, it could be a monthly fee, or for first-timers, you could actually do it for free.
So
But
this
it's
pops up on your phone?
Literally, as long as you have location on and you're on Snapchat, you're good.
What's the cost monthly for that?
The cost, so the first time you do it, it's free, but the second time there's a monthly cost attached to it, which is minimal. It could be between, it depends how long you want it and how big of an area. So it could vary from like 20 to a couple $100 a month. But it really depends on what it is, how big, how big you want the location.
I'd like to ask, because the other groups, I'll ask you, what is your daily sales break-even point? So, I mean, you're starting up here, your indicator of your success after the first 6 months is going to be your average daily sales. What do you determine to be your break-even, so you know if you're going to be, because I saw in there you had part of your PowerPoint slide up, it says if it doesn't work out, you can look to basically sell it off. I would make a suggestion, you take that paragraph out of your presentation when you come to my office, because that's going to be a big red
That's
flag.
our exit plan, and the reason that's our exit plan is because we can recover enough money if we even sell it off for a little bit less than the elders to take care of our debts. That was one of the reasons that's in there. That's just a comfort.
Well, we'll determine that for you. My advice is, I would read that personally as you coming in saying, I'm not sure if this is going to be a success.
Yeah.
So either if you plan to succeed or plan to fail, you're right. Okay? It's all about attitude.
Yeah.
So I would, like I said, you guys did a great job. I would just take that one piece
Definitely.
out. That to me is like bells and whistles, banging pots. Take it out. You also talked about buying the building for 115.
The building, that's actually, there's rent. We're buying the stuff inside and the building itself, but the land itself, that's separate. Because it's the same concept like they do with gas stations. You could buy the structure on top, but you still have to pay rent, and that's why we have the rent.
So it's be 115 for the building plus 115 for the business?
No, what do you call it? It's 115 for the business, and then we're gonna renegotiate the lease, and that's why there's a line item for rent on the budget. It's right there with the paperclip.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
So that 21 is inclusive of the roughly 1157 a month? that
Yeah,
you're
we actually renegotiated and saved $3,000 per month, the lease, before you sign. And that's how we're trying to cut costs. For example, if you notice, our utilities, they're a little bit less than the older budget that was estimated for, is because we're leasing solar panels, so we could get half the cost, cut the cost of electricity in half, because we're actually leasing it right off of our own roof, and there's no cost up front. So if you guys want, I could show you the budget, what the elders estimated and what we broke it down and cut out of. For example, legal and bookkeeping's out because we have a person that could take care of that in-house. So you could eliminate the cost.
What do you prepare to, will it just be one shift in the store, essentially? I mean,
It would be staggered, but it's as needed. The thing is, foot traffic would control how much time and effort we want to put into this. Meaning, if there's not enough foot traffic, why have 3 people trying to run a deli when we could be doing something in the background relating to this business? Maybe we could work on new ideas. So not everybody necessarily has to be at the deli serving sandwiches. We could be looking at other parts of the business and improving, expanding, or doing community outreach stuff. So we don't want to invest all of our time into one area of this business, but spread ourselves out that we cover every aspect.
What are your hours?
Hours would be 6 to 7, and the reason we have 6 to 7, it's 13 hours, and the reason is because school sports and stuff is usually done between 5:30 to 6:30, so we want that opportunity where we can catch the baseball player, the lacrosse player, or the field hockey player going home and grabbing something to eat.
Right, so if you were expecting that, so how many people do you think you would need to be working in there to cover that? And
That, I would say 2 people. 2 people should be able to do the job, because the thing is, it's not that heavy of foot traffic. If you look at it, there's 1,300 kids at our school, and out of them, every time there's a pasta dinners, there's usually around 300 that play sports. So there's not going to be a lot of foot traffic. You might get 100 people out of those 300. That would be the breakdown of it, and that's a rough estimate.
You said you were going to be closed, I think, on Sundays?
Sundays, yes.
So the industrial area, is that open on Sundays or is that closed?
That's also closed because it's closed on the weekends. It goes Monday through Friday, just like a regular business week.
And is there residential development or is it just school and industrial?
There's not too much residential development. It's a little bit further away because this is zoned as a commercial area. That's the reason that there isn't much residential, because of zoning laws. So takes care of that end.
Thank you.
Thank you. I would just like to applaud all of the presenters, all of the groups for an outstanding job. Amazing. I'd like to thank Mr. Mike Malia back there for his technical assistance. Thank you, Mike. We have for each of you a certificate that will be given to you either on the way back to school or at school by your teachers. The superintendent of schools would like to come in and say a few words. This is Dr. Rocco.
How's everybody doing? Good. Excellent, excellent. Couple things. One, thank you to our Rotary Club and to our business owners and everybody who came and participated in this. Thank you very much for being part of this activity. So you can give them a round of applause for that. Number two, that was tough. I'm sitting in the back and listening to all of you. You did an outstanding job. That's a lot of pressure, really, and well-researched, great answers, good structure. My final observation is, when can I place an order for a sandwich on my app? I thought that was a brilliant idea. Absolutely great ideas about working together and starting a business or taking over a business. Great job by all of you. I thank the community, the business owners, the Rotary organization for getting to coming in here and working together with us. So look forward to it next year also. Thank you very much.
And do managers have anything in general that they would like to conclude with to the group as a whole? Please feel free to speak into the mic.
I think you all did a great job. You really did, and it was great seeing everybody work as a team, especially with everybody being from different schools. It was really fantastic to watch you all work. You did a great job, so you deserve it.
This has been my, probably my 6th or 7th year since I've done this, and I think, you know, as I've done this over the years, I've been a Rotarian since 2010, but what I find refreshing is that the future sits in front of me and we're well protected with your ingenuity and basically your thought process. What I also found doing this over the years is how adaptable the group is. They come back, we make suggestions. Probably the first group got maybe hammered a little more than the last group because they're on their feet. But I think, you know, what I see is that you know, you all do a great job. You know, I don't think I really want to pick a winner here. I think at the end of the day, you know, you've all learned something that's been beneficial. You know, when you come in, I'm going to lend you money. Tough questions get answered, and they got to be they're asked. So you basically come prepared, come with your professionals when you come to the bank, and come with well thought out plans. And I think overall, you know, that's what we saw here today. So, you know, as you move forward in your careers and you get to the point where you're going to do some financing, talk to some professionals, come in and talk to the bankers. Because you know what, we want you to be successful, and we'll give you some insight as to how to make that happen. So I applaud you for here, and the teachers and the administration. So great job.
I agree with Tom, and I think it's, someone made a joke earlier about having a kid or adopting someone. My youngest just graduated, and I can say that being in an education environment, it is great to see what's going on here and see, I highly recommend each and every one of you find a personal and professional mentor. Find someone that you can bounce things off of, that you trust, okay, that can lead you down that path. Some of them are probably sitting in this room here, they're your teachers. They know who to reach out to, they know who to direct you to as well. Take advantage of it. I'm telling you, it'll be the difference between success and failure as you go forward. The workforce is very difficult, but it's only difficult for those who are unprepared. If you're prepared, you put the time in and you do the right things, seek good advice and be positive. I made a joke earlier, but if you think you're going to fail, you think you're going to succeed, you're right. That is so true. Your attitude, I call my kids, they say ABCs, attitude, belief, and commitment. You follow the ABCs every day, you're not going to have a problem, okay? And it starts here, and I think this is my second time doing this. I actually almost didn't make it because I had a million things going on in my office, but I dropped things and made it here because I think it's that important. So I commend you guys, you did a great job, all of you.